Reign and try to counteract him in a different way.
Yeah, and as we get ready to get into picking bands here, one thing that you already talked about is Ajax is going to be a huge champion or player, I should say, here for Reign of Kings. While Get Crab in the jungle for Insecure is also going to have to man a lot of the pressure coming into this series. I know he's had some very strong games, especially previously in that series against Elion Gaming last week. So we're going to be looking to him to get a lot of the same things going as we are on to picking bands. First ban already taken off the table. That will be a LeBlanc taken away by Reign of Kings. Right off the bat, guys, we are going to have one sub coming in for Insecure. Rookie Fanboy will not be in the mid lane for Insecure. They will have the sub, not the man, not the myth, not the legend, but the sub playing in the mid lane for them here in this championship matchup. But as these bans are starting to come through, Primus, what are some of the things that you're looking at?
So a couple things that I do want to mention here is that the Aurelia and LeBlanc bands, as well as the Swain, are all very powerful bands that we have seen go against Insecure previously in the playoffs. Whereas the Fun is a big proponent of that Swain in the top lane, really hasn't shown preference towards the things along the line of the Urgot and the Aatrox. Generally, when they have picked those up, they've generally gone to the mid lane, but it's not really been a champion that we've seen him get. And in terms of the LeBlanc, that's been a ban that's been fairly staple, though it generally comes out in the second ban phase against Insecure, but that is another champion that we see. And Aurelia, not much needs to be said about that champion. It should just never be allowed on the Rift.
As busted as a champion as Riot may have ever created. But right off the bat, that Gragas that you had talked so much about does go through. Get Crab is going to go ahead and pick that up as the Sivir goes over the Gandhi Donut. I like the Urgot pick for Reign of Kings here. I know that's something that Where's the Fun has also really played a lot in these matchups across the league so far for Insecure. So taking that away from him and putting that on the Vider, that's going to be huge for them to get that pressure in the top lane.
Yes, that does give him a large tempo advantage. I like Reign of Kings going away from the Urgot and the Gragas ban and saying, we're going to get one of the picks. We're going to give you the Gragas. We're going to take the Urgot because we know you're most likely not going to play the Urgot, especially considering the fact that Rookie Fanboy's not going to be in the game because where's the Fun? Most certainly isn't going to be playing that. So you're denying the Urgot from the enemy team, not allowing them to pick the Urgot Gragas. You do give Daddy Zillion his signature Zillion.
I am all
It's a bold
here
strategy,
for that.
Hot. That is a bold strategy.
I am here for that. Daddy Zillion has played very well for Insecure to get them to this point. He and Gandhi Donut have been amazing down in that bot lane. They've had some fallback games, but for the most part, Daddy Zillion has done his best to push his team into the situation and getting him on that signature champion. You can't call yourself Daddy Zillion, lock in Zillion in the championship game and not pop off. So we're going to have to pay a close attention down to that bot lane, going up against Arrow in the Zoomies, Lucian and Braum bot lane, which is always going to be a strong duo lane here. So as the last few bans start to come in, it is looking like an Aatrox is going to get locked in for Reign of Kings. So now that's going to be a flex with the Urgot you have to expect. So who knows exactly where that Aatrox can go, or it might go into the jungle, Primus.
This is something that Reign of Kings did do in game number 4 of their semifinal series. They ran the Urgot Aatrox combo in top and jungle. However, in that series, they had the Akali, which did get a banned away from them in this game. But the Lissandra that I mentioned earlier on has been pretty much permabanned on the red side throughout the playoffs. Ends up lasting all the way through to second rotation. They pick that up. That gives them a lot of CC and just general tankiness and zone control to allow Arrow on the solution to have free reign to deal damage to this relatively squishy backline.
Relatively squishy is exactly how it is going to be for Insecure, as the Zoe will go ahead and get locked in for the sub. But right off the bat, as the teams start to get to their respective corners before we get out onto the Rift, when you look at the draft, what are some of the things that not only stick out to you, but who do you think really has a clear advantage once you see the champions that both teams are going to take into game number 1?
So when you look across the board, top lane matchup on paper should favor the Urgot, though the Scion can do decently well in that matchup because he's able to clear the waves relatively effectively against the Urgot, so he's not going to be forced under tower and forced to miss a lot of CS. Jungle matchup, it is going to favor the Gragas because Aatrox not great at clearing the jungle, doesn't really have great gates, but he's extremely powerful in open areas where he can get those skirmishes off. So on paper, I would give that advantage over to get Gragas, especially considering how often it's been banned away from him. The mid lane matchup is very interesting because if the sub goes for an aggressive play on the Zoe, she can get forced out extremely easily by Unique with potentially follow-up from Ajat in that jungle role. But the Sandras historically struggled very mightily into very long-range poke champions, so I would give a slight edge to the Zoe in that matchup, but it is a very volatile matchup in that mid lane. In the bottom lane, it's hard to pick against Lucian Braum in terms of just straight 2v2 fighting power, but my concern is whether or not they're ever actually going to get into range in order to get those concussive blows procs off on Daddy Zillion and Gandhi Donut, because Gandhi Donut has that spell shield, going to have that on the hunt later on. You have the speed up from Zillion as well, when he can speed up both of them back to back to get out of range of Mizumi and Arrow. So I'm going to say that bot lane matchup on paper is even, but can swing heavily one way or the other depending upon how those early levels shake off. So team comp wise, I'm going to give a slight edge to Insecure, but whenever you have a team with essentially 5 power picks on it, with the Urgot, Aatrox, Cassandra, Lucian, and Braum, you're always riding the edge on how the game is actually going to play out, because that is a lot of ban-worthy champion that Reign of Kings has been able to pick up.
And one thing that really stands out to me, again, we talked about Daddy Zillion getting his, presumably his favorite champion here. Getting that Zillion pick and having, like you said before, a squishy backline with the Zoe, with the Sivir, he's going to be called upon to get some really good chrono shifts in trying to make sure that if a teammate gets picked out or knocked up or killed off, getting that revive is going to be vital in some of these team fights, and trying to make sure his team and his damage dealers can stay alive.
That's kind of one of the things that kind of separates a good Zillion player from a great Zillion player, is how you can manage that cooldown of the chrono shift, because if you mistime it and that ends up not proccing on whoever you do throw that chrono shift off, that can pretty much seal a team fight going over to the side of the enemy team. However, if you are able to get those clutch chrono shifts off the instant before your carry dies, it gives you time to reorganize your team fight, get your tanks in position to defend your carry, and you can very easily turn that team fight, which could have immediately been a 5v4, back into a 5v5 with the enemy team missing crucial cooldowns, and very easily turn that fight back into your favor despite the situation that started it.
I know we saw a lot of that happening on Summoner's Rift in the LCS with the Zillion pick for Jensen, I believe, is the one who really made that very popular there for Cloud9.
Jensen and Bjergsen are pretty much the preeminent Zillion players in NA.
Yeah, I would definitely have to agree with that. Definitely, definitely. Well, while we have a quick second, Preems, let's go through the starting lineups very fast. For the side of Reign of Kings, it is going to be Viter in the top lane, Ajax in the jungle, Unique in the mid lane, Arrow and Nezumi down in the bot lane. And on the side of Insecure, it's going to be Where's the Fun in the top lane, Get Crab in the jungle, the sub is going to be in the mid lane, and Gandhi Donut and Daddy Zillion down in that bot lane. So it's going to wrap it around for Insecure here. As we get ready to get onto the Rift, it is going to be a huge series. Winner take all, Overdrive League Platinum Division Championship, best of 5. I mean, we've seen both of these teams on the Rift, and it's going to be interesting to see who is going to take it, Primus, as we are getting ready to get on the Rift.
It's going to be very interesting to see how this game ends up playing out, because it wouldn't be a cast if there wasn't applause.
Absolutely, and I agree with that. We are in a quick pause, everybody, as you can see. But you said it right there, Primus. It wouldn't be a cast if we were not in a quick pause. So we're gonna try and get that squared away as quickly as we can, guys. But while we have some moments here before this series kicks off, it is going to be for the championship. And can you talk a little bit about this, Primus? When the nerves start to set in for either one of these teams. You played all for several weeks to get to this point, especially on the side of Insecure, playing in a couple, gauntlet style kind of games to get into the postseason. But when do nerves start to, be a factor here in some of these high pressure situations?
Well, to be honest, I can speak from experience as a coaching a team that has made the finals. To be perfectly honest, the nerves can either set in right at the very start after your first loss in the series, or when you're at elimination, or when you're looking to clinch the series. Like, nerves can set in at any real point in the series. It just kind of depends on your individual mentality and how you approach the series as to what really governs how it ends up playing out here, because nerves can set uh as excuse me, sorry, I lost my train of thought. Thank you, powers that be, for without losing my train of thought. Anyway, quick, let me we're just gonna move on. So nerves, there we go. Is You can be nervous at any point throughout a series. It's how you channel that nervous energy is what really will make a difference in terms of how this series as a whole ends up playing out. Because of the fact of the matter is if you're able to channel that nervous energy into gameplay, it makes a massive difference, because everything becomes a little crisper. You're able to execute that much better in terms of the game in and of itself. So you can take your nervous energy, channel it into your gameplay, and play at a level higher than what you would ordinarily be able to play at, because of that extra energy that you're getting from nerves. Or you just end up freezing and just like, guys, how do I champion this game? What?
No, and that was the first thing that really kind of dawned on me as we started getting closer and closer to the kickoff. Again, guys, we are in a quick pause before we take you into game one between Insecure and Reign of Kings in Overdrive League Platinum Division Finals. But yeah, that was the first thing that kind of really dawned on me. You sit there and, like I said before, you play all this time, you really put yourself in the position to be successful, and you would hate to see that all come undone because you got a case of the yips, or a very bad case of nerves heading into the title game. And I mean, right off the bat, I think Insecure is going to be a team that we look at here, because they're already down a member. Rookie Fanboy had been with them throughout the entire postseason, and now the sub comes in to sub, and who knows what can happen here. He's getting thrown to the fire, getting thrown to the wolves here in a very, very high pressure situation.
However, on the flip side of that, it can also have the effect of galvanizing a team, right? Making them play above and beyond their normal levels. It's just like, we're a man down. It's time to circle the wagons, to steal a phrase from professionals. Once you circle the wagons, gather up, and it's an us against the world mentality, and can allow you to push past that point where, even though you're not at 100%, you're so confident in your team's ability to execute that it just doesn't matter, that regardless of losing one of those important pieces, the sum of the parts does not equal the whole. As I can't remember actual phrasing, but we're going with it because, why not here at EGN?
Absolutely, guys. And a quick update on what's going on. So, AJAT, Reign of Kings jungler's client bugged out. And so it prevented him from choosing the correct ruin. So we're just waiting to get the lobby set back up here and get things rolling for you guys. Again, Overdrive League Platinum Finals, Reign of Kings taking on Insecure. And yeah, he had press the attack on Aatrox is what I'm being told is what he was trying to put in there. But so
I
yeah, it's
generally
it's
to explain, generally on jungle Aatrox, you will run aftershock. Um, uh, yes, you can still run electrocute, but I feel like with Dark Harvest changes, Dark Harvest is actually better than electrocute right now. So, Aftershock or Dark Harvest was probably what he was going for.
Hmm.
And his Keystone not press the attack as if he was playing Jax or Xin Zhao in the jungle, which are champions he has pulled out. But unfortunately, we don't get to see the legendary press the attack Aatrox here in this first game.
It would have been legendary indeed, absolutely. And I honestly, like I said, I would have liked to see it just for the troll points. But Primus, like I said, we've gone through both of these teams. We've kind of touched on both of their comps and some of the things that they're really looking for. We even touched on the nerves about playing in this high pressure situation, playing in this final. But when you look at Reign of Kings, they're coming in here as the favorite, Insecure, the fourth seed in the postseason. When you come in as the favorite, how would you approach this entire setup, this 5 game series? Are you approaching it with the mindset of the favorite, or are you trying not to get be the next domino to fall in the reign that Insecure has kind of put together for themselves?
To be honest, I always feel like in any best of series is that when it comes to the draft phases, you always try to maximize your own team strengths while minimizing enemy team strengths. While when it comes to approaching the gameplay in and of itself, is you don't want to focus on what the enemy team's doing, is you want to focus on what your play is doing and how you can as a team set the tone, set the pace of the game, play on the front foot, and force the enemy team to react to how you're playing rather than you playing off the back foot and constantly reacting to what the enemy team is doing. Because I always say proactivity is always going to lead to a higher chance of success rather than react.
Yeah, and I agree with that, and I think that's something that a lot of teams have to keep in mind is that when you are, reacting to a situation, like you said, you're on the back foot. That means you're put in a situation that isn't good, that isn't what you want to be. It's not a place where you want to be. But when you're being proactive, you're setting up the team, the other team, the opposing team, for that situation, and you're being the one that's going to be, pressing your advantages and making sure that things work out in your favor. And we're gonna have to pay attention to that as the series goes on. I mean, we've only, pick and bans have come and gone, and we're waiting to get into game number 1 here. But who's gonna be the first team to kind of take those advantages, and how not only are they gonna take the advantages, but how are they gonna capitalize and snowball those advantages into potentially game winning and series winning plays?
It's hard to say because of the fact that both these team comps do a lot of different things. While on one side you have Insecure's composition, which really wants to set up in a tower and just throw poke and siege at you constantly with Sivir Wave Clear, with Super Trouble Bubbles, with Paddle Stars, with Zillion Bombs. You just want to constantly throw those at the enemy team to try to force them into responding. Because when you look at the side of Reign of Kings, they don't really have great consistent wave clear. They do have a little bit of wave clear on everyone. You have the Q from Urgot, you have the Qs from Aatrox, you have Lysandre Q, you have Lucian Q, you have Culling as well. You have lots of bits of wave clear, but it's nothing like a Oriana, a Victor, Ziggs, or Sivir, or a Zaya, where it's very safe wave clear that you can distance. You have to get up close personal. So if Insecure can get the advantage early on, they can set up a turret, they can siege, they can dominate the side of Reign of Kings. However, if you're Reign of Kings, if you can get flanks with the Urgot, with the Lysandre, with the Aatrox, you can completely devastate the side of Insecure because there's only one Chrono Shift. It can only go on one target. And if you can force Daddy Zillion to use that on himself or use that on a tank, it can make a massive difference for your team because if that's going on the Zillion, that's generally considered a win in most cases. If you're forcing it onto the Gragas or onto the Scion, that's generally a win in most cases because that's not bringing up a second carry. Because if you can take out the Sivir, that's most of the consistent damage on the side of Insecure. And Gandhi Dona only has one spell shield, which is on a relatively long cooldown if she goes the standard skill order on Sivir, which is where you go QW and then E last. She can theoretically go Spell Shield second, which will get it down to about an 8-second cooldown at level 13. But that's not something that's very common. There's also the fact that you have to consider who's going to end up buying QSSs, whether we're going to see the sub running cleanse. I don't remember if he ended up running cleanse in this game or not in that brief time we were actually on the Rift, because that Lysandre tax is never something that you can underestimate in any game.
Absolutely. You almost think of it as a similar akin to a Malzahar tax, making sure that you're going to be able to cleanse out of any kind of issues there. That frozen tomb coming down will cause trouble for a lot of the carriers of Insecure there if they don't pay that tax. But one of the things that I definitely wanted to touch on was this bot lane. I know we had talked about it before and how strong of a lane Lucian Braum has always been. And Daddy Zillion is taking a lot of pressure here because he is the one that's going to have to hit those chrono shifts that we talked about before. But I like the way that Insecure did their homework. They took away the Thresh from Nozumi. Nozumi had a really, really strong showing on that Thresh in the previous series. And so taking that away from him and putting him on, although a better duo, but still not one of those engage heavy champions like the Thresh, and can really, keep Daddy Zillion and Gandhi Donut in a very good position here as we get ready to get back onto the Rift.
Yeah, because one thing we have to say about Nizumi is in that Fresh game from the previous series, his hooks were borderline heat seeking.
Oh, don't you love it, Primus, when you get those heat-seeking crazy? How in the world did he fit that through that tight little hole? Where the heck did that minion go? It was just there 2 seconds ago. Oh no, that's max range. When you get those heat-seeking kind of hooks that set things up, it really can. Like you talked about galvanizing a team, it can really galvanize a team. And I think that's why Insecure is going ahead and taking that away because they don't need any more support going into the side of Reign of Kings.
Definitely, to build off that point, as a support main myself, I was doing on a my second account with one of my friends because he's a boosted monkey and is old, so I can play with him on my main account. And I was playing Fresh with a bunch of silver players, and I end up going 0-1 and 16 on Thresh. My 80 carry after the game is just like, you cannot do anything against this Thresh. Thresh too good. And I'm just like, yep. Those are the feel good moments of support. Even though I didn't get Nest for the game because screw Riot, but you just sometimes you just have those games on those hook champions where everything just seems to be landing. And if you're insecure, it's better to be insecure about it, honestly, and just be like, we just don't want to risk Nizumi having one of those pop off games where everything just seems to be landing. Even if you are going to look at playing something along the lines of a Sivir, you have a Morgana available as well that you could theoretically want to pair with the Sivir to negate the Thresh. Sometimes it's better just to play in your margin for error rather than margin for error, which is just taking it off the table rather than leaving up to individual outplays to shut down an.
Yeah, and I think that's you take that away right off the bat with the Thresh ban because and I talked about it before. When you get those kind of pop off moments, those games where one player can carry a team straight through to the finish line, those are the kind of games that can be very demoralizing on the back end. Like, wow, he really hit every single hook that he threw that game, and so like I said, it can really hurt a team. And I think that's why Insecure went ahead and took that off the table. But on the flip side, Reign of Kings doing their homework, and we talked about it during the pick and ban phase, taking away that Swain. And we've seen that Swain get flexed a few times. I know, like I said before, Rookie Fanboy is not in the lineup today, but Where's the Fun has shown very strong performances on that Swain. So taking that away from him shows Reign of Kings are not the only ones, or excuse me, Insecures, and they're not the only ones that are doing their homework.
Yeah, to build off that point, I believe Where's the Fun currently has a 82% win rate in solo queue on the Swain with like a 5+ KDA, just completely demolishing folks on that Swain pick. So again, it's one of those things better to just take it off the table, especially if you're looking at playing something like the Urgot in the top lane, because Swain is a ranged champion, can do very well in that matchup. You can run something along the lines of Klepto or Grass of the Undying and just punish the fact that you have greater range than the Urgot and can make life extremely difficult on the Urgot, at least until level 6, where he does have access to that Execute ultimate. So, as you said, good homework coming in on both sides, but it's going to come down to execution in this game. And to be perfectly honest, with the way this meta is, as they're finally back onto the Rift. Hallelujah.
Absolutely, guys. And just like my partner said, we are on the Rift Overdrive League Platinum Division Finals. We are set and ready to go, everyone. So, right off the bat, as we get going here, we're going to expect pretty standard lanes, I would hope, going into everything here. So, but it looks like Reign of Kings may be looking for some type of invade early on. They may have found where's the fun? Where's the fun? He's going to get tagged up and he's going to get rooted. He's going to get stunned up. And just like that, that's going to be first blood right off the bat for Reign of Kings as they pick that one up.
Oh, the power of Braum level 1 can never, ever be underestimated.
Very, very nicely done there coming in from Reign of Kings. That kill did go over to Unique. Did have to waste a flash for it, but still well worth it. And that's going to be a huge advantage. Get the Crab is going to get tagged up here by Nazum, and he's going to have to flash away. So early aggression coming in from Reign of Kings early on.
Yeah, they're using the power of the solution Braum to dominate this top side of the map, giving them the greater advantage. Even though the fact that Unique did blow the flash in that mid lane, he is playing Lissandra, which does have a lot of innate mobility as a champion. So even though she doesn't have a flash, she will have that glacial path available at level 3, which will give her the necessary safety in lane to get through these early phase. She comes back to lane with another Doran's Ring. I personally would have preferred to see the Dark Seal, just because I feel like with the nerfs to double Dorans, I feel like getting the early Dark Seal is a little bit better. Plus, it gives Lissandra, who has a new passive, no longer has that free spell she gets every 20 seconds or so, which I do want to take some time to talk about just in case people haven't experienced this. So, Lissandra's new passive has some of the highest base scaling in the game. Is at level 18, base damage on Lissandra passive is 600.
Whew.
That is base damage, people. That's not counting any AP. So a lot of people that I've been seeing who are playing the Lissandra are just going to the straight AP route, where you go Luden's Echo into Deathcap, Morella Nomicon, Zanya's, that type of thing. You're not going the utility Lissandra where you rush like Protobelt and then you go into your Zanyas. It's very much more for that raw AP to basically make the win harder mentality of your new passive even more effective, because that's kind of the thought process behind the Lissandra passive, in my opinion, is you blow up one target at the start of the fight and then you use that to chain damage onto other targets and continue the snowball across the team fight as a whole.
Yeah, and I think right off the bat, one of the biggest thing we're going to have to watch out for is how Insecure is going to go ahead and have to deal with those new changes to Lissandra, and are they going to be able to make the adjustments when needed? One thing I really want to bring your attention to is it looks like a potential bit of roaming could be happening here in the mid lane. The sub is here trying to make things easier for Get Crab. The sub is going to take up a little bit of damage, heal right back up with, I think that's going to be the redemption there. But one of the things I definitely want to pay close mind to is Get Crab, who did have to go ahead and burn that flash early level 1, as it looks like Daddy Zillion is going to get jumped on here. He's going to get stunned up, and Arrow is going to pick one up there. So that's going to be a second kill coming in for Reign of Kings as their strong start continues.
Yeah, just Arrow coming in with that piercing right through Daddy Zillion, and that's kind of the thing that you're always needing to be wary of down in this bottom lane, is the power of the Lucian Braum in the 2v2 scenario.
Yeah, and I know we talked about that before and how potent that can be. Damage is going to go ahead and get traded up. Very nice damage here in the top lane from Where's the Fun and Viter. But really, right off the bat, I was talking a little bit about Get Can, but he's going to have to start making some moves here across the map to try and get his team a bit back into this. I mean, they are only down 2 kills early on, but the way that they've kind of happened, Reign of Kings are really starting to push a little bit of their muscle around here on Insecure.
The biggest concern is that the fact of the matter is that in this bottom lane, I touched on, it's a very skilled matchup. But the fact of the matter is that if Nezumi ever lands a Winter's Bite onto Daddy Zillion pre-level 6, he risks dying. And we saw that exact scenario happen on that last play. He did have to blow a flash on a previous trade in the bottom lane, which is why he couldn't get away. Once level 6 comes in for Gandhi, as we could see a collapse onto Get Crab here.
I think we might get Crab. I don't think knows that it is going on. Ajat is up here taking the wolves. But as both mid laners seem to be making their way here, it is going to be a bit of a skirmish. Flash coming in from Ajat as he misses or dodges out the sleepy trouble bubble coming in there from the sub. But very, very cheeky invade there. He is going to pick up a wolf camp, but at the expense of his own flash.
He didn't even finish the wolf camp. He only got the small wolves.
Oof, that's gonna feel bad as he and Get Crab continue to fight here in the river as both mid laners again are coming down. Now the top lanes are starting to make their ways up as well, and that Scuttle Crab looks like it is gonna be controlled here for Reign of Kings. So right off the bat, these junglers are not playing nice with each other, and they definitely, that's going to be a Zoe Flash coming in there from the sub. But yeah, that's going to be something that we really have to pay close attention to. We talked about it before, these junglers and in this matchup, and right now things are starting to lean towards Ajat.
Yes, but it is still early on. I do want to say quickly that we are still seeing Unique going for the utility Lysandra build, which I don't think is the optimal build at this point. Like, I can still see the thought process behind it. It still does give Lysandra that extra ability to get into the backline, but I don't feel like it's the optimal build. Oh, it's an all-in.
Oh, it is going to be an all-in. The sub does have that cleanse, and so he's going to be just fine. Frozen Tomb did not actually come out, but Get Crab is here. Will flash and get on to Unique. Unique is going to have to ult himself, but I don't think he's going to be able to get away. No, he flashes away and is going to get away and survive. Very nice play there coming in from the mid laner for Reign of Kings.
He got both Get Crabs and the subs flashes there on that play, which means that Zoe's extremely vulnerable to a gank when that Glacial Prison does come back up, because that is going to be back up before the cleanse is back available, but an all-in in the bot lane.
Daddy Zillion, that is not what you want to do, my friend. He's going to go ahead. Flash is burned, and he still goes down. It's going to be 2 kills now coming in for Arrow and Nezumi in this bot lane.
I could make a very horrible joke right now, but I'm pretty sure we would get banned if I make it, so I'm just going to leave that off the stream right now. If people want to hear it, I will potentially say it in chat later, but I don't want us to get banned by Rito, please. So
I don't want that to happen either. That is something that I do not previous. But right off the bat, that's going to be 2 quick kills coming in for Arrow down in his bot lane. And he does have a 500 gold bounty, so that is going to be something that Insecure may be looking towards. But you talked about it before. If a Winter's Bite connects on the Daddy Zillion pre-level 6, he just gets bursted down. Arrow did go ahead and flash to put himself in position there, but it's well worth the flash there as he picks up his 2nd kill.
Yeah, because you're looking at it currently a 35 CS advantage down to that bottom lane, plus the 2 kills on that. And I do want to bring everyone's attention. Hey, that little nifty thing that the side of Riot has put in is that bounty gold that is showing up over each champion. We're currently seeing that 550 gold up on that Lucian. If we can bring up the gold charts just to see the gold differential between Lucian and Sivir right now, and it's certainly not something that is going to be very pretty, but a gank in the mid lane.
Gank in the mid lane coming in for onto the sub. The sub will go ahead. World Ender coming in from Ajax, and he's going to go ahead and pick that one up. And that's going to be another kill. 4 kills now for the side of Reign of Kings. And Get Crab looks like he may be in a tough situation. He is going to get locked down with the Frozen Tomb, but is able to body slam out to safety. But still, 4 kills and over 3K gold lead early on coming in for the side of Reign of Kings. And in the top lane, looks like it's going to continue. Viter is here. Will go ahead, get the flash out of Where's the Fun is down in the bot lane. Get Crab may still be in trouble. Arrow is here. Great going over the wall there, coming in from Unique, and that's going to help secure that kill. It's going to be another kill handed over to Arrow. That's 3 kills now on the Lucian.
That is exactly how you want this game to be going if you are on the side of Reign of Kings, establishing their supremacy in this early game, punishing the fact that they do have a sub on the enemy team, and just using that tempo advantage and priority advantage that they're getting from the mid lane to continue to affect the map, but that doesn't dissuade the fact that the side of Arrow and Nezumi are completely controlling this bottom side of the map and just not allowing Gandhi Donut and Daddy, who historically throughout the ODL season and the ODL play has been a very solid bot lane in terms of the 2v2, but just has not been performing at all in this game so far.
Absolutely not. And now you see Arrow with that double buff has the Cutlass finished, already pumping out extreme amounts of damage here. The sub looking potentially, I know he was roaming up to the top lane, maybe trying to find a gank path of some sort, but was snuffed out very quickly as Vider went ahead and backed off. But when you look at Insecure, they're already down 4K gold 10 minutes in. Not the situation that they want to be, but it is only 10 minutes in. They have means to get back into this game, Primus, but what is it going to take for them to really stop the bleeding now and get themselves back in a better situation?
To be honest, I don't know if they can honestly stop the bleeding at this point in the game. If you are the side of Insecure, I feel like you have to just play. We're going to concede everything outside of our tier 2s once the tier 1s start falling, because there's at this stage of the game, you are not in a position to where you can effectively contest those tier 1 towers. You really want to make sure you're holding your tier 2s as long as possible. I understand that no tier 1s have fallen, but with the pace of the game currently where it is, especially with the early Mountain Drake going over to the side of ROK, those turrets can fall extremely quickly. I know bot lane tower is currently sitting on about 1500 HP, I want to say, potentially a little bit more than that. But it can fall extremely easily. And if you're Insecure, your win condition right now is hitting 30 minutes.
Arrow, oh my God, he's not even worried about anything. He's going to go put himself in a very, very predicament situation here. Daddy Zillion is going to go ahead and have to ult onto Gandhi Donut, and I think that will save his life as Get Crab is going to go ahead, hit the combo onto Unique. Unique's going to take tons of damage. Will have to hit that Frozen Tomb onto himself with the stopwatch there as help has arrived. Flash coming in. Ajax is there right now trying to make sure his mid laner is going to be okay. The sub will go ahead and use his stopwatch as Get Crab comes back over. World Ender is going to be used here. Coming from Ajax, and the sub may be out of trouble. No, he's going to go down there. Get Crab is here as well. Get Crab now goes down as Vider picks that one up, and that's going to be 2 more kills handed over to Reign of Kings.
And he just gets the TP right back up to that top lane. Great use of the lane priority advantage coming in from Vider, going down to that mid lane, does have to TP back up to the top lane, loses a little bit of CS, so he is going to be down a little bit of CS in terms of that top lane, but we're going to see first tower fall, which I want to say the most important thing about that trade from Arrow is he blew 0 summoners and got 3 of the summoners from Insecure's bot lane by himself.
And he was looking for more. Nezumi did go ahead and drop that ultimate over the wall, it looks like here. But still, the pressure in the bot lane coming in from Reign of Kings right now. This Lucian, 301, 800 gold bounty on him right now. And it really has been all Reign of Kings early on here in game number 1.
Reign of Kings has just the pace of this game, making it extremely difficult for the side of Insecure to really find any foothold in this game. As I said, their play pattern at this point in the game is just need to be trying to funnel as much gold onto Gandhi Donut, because Gandhi Donut currently is going to be their win condition, because Sivir at 3 items is one of the most devastating AD carries in terms of teamfight damage in the game. Like, you cannot underestimate the power of constant crits bouncing through an entire team.
Yeah, and when you can get to that place, that is something that you really want to be if you are Gandhi Donut and the side of Insecure, but they still have a long way to go before they can do that. Arrow's looking for more as he looks like he's going to go ahead and jump on the Get Crab. Get Crab is going to have to use that explosive cast to get out of harm's way, and he will barely be able to get out as the sub is here, but the sub, that's going to be 3 members here that have him stunned up, and Arrow is on a rampage.
Yeah, so in case you guys didn't know, Lucian in Platinum Plus right now is sitting at a 31.6% ban rate and a 25% pick rate.
That's a lot.
Just let that sink in. That means he has a 57% a 55% presence rate in games above Platinum Plus.
And we are in platinum now, so I think that falls under we fall under
Yes.
that umbrella of previous.
Yeah, so essentially, this champion is very, very broken. And honestly, in your solo queue games, and even in the series in and of itself, it should be ban worthy because the amount of power that this champion has can never be underestimated because this champion essentially by himself can almost win a bot lane.
And that's kind of what we've seen here. Nezumi has 5 assists and really has played a very strong Braum in this situation, but Arrow has had the damage as in the top lane. Vider is going to have to go ahead and have to flash away as Get Crab is here as well. Very, very good Ignite there put on to Get Crab, but I don't think it's going to matter. Where's the Fun is going to go ahead and pick up the first kill for Insecure and get his team on the board.
Yeah, that Trouble Bubble landing over the wall inhibited Get Crab from Vider from potentially locking in that ultimate Fear Beyond Death onto Get Crab and potentially getting a trade kill. So very good rotation coming in from him.
Where's the Fun? Maybe caught out here. Unique
it's one
is going to go ahead and have to use trying to slow him up as his bot lane is desperately trying to get up here. The ult will come down on it. Where's the Fun? And he is going to get stunned up, and look how he gets shredded. Arrow with the help as Unique goes ahead and picks that kill up, but that is a tanky Scion until the Fed Lucian gets up there.
Yeah, this Lucian probably will base and have a completed Black Cleaver at 17 minutes into the game. That's only slightly terrifying.
Only a bit. About 17 minutes into the game, as you said, 9 kills now for the Sign of Raid of Kings, and I believe that is going to be their third turret of the game as well. So that is full control. They're pushing onto the tier 2. Sleepy Trouble Bubble goes over the wall but does not connect on the Nezumi. But here we start to see again the tower pressure that they can exert with Arrow being so far ahead. He does go ahead and pick up that second tier, and it really is right now all Reign of Kings as they continue to push their advantages.
There just is not much Insecure can currently do right now. As I mentioned earlier on, at this stage of the game, if you're Insecure, you need to consolidate everything into just keeping your jungle safe and keeping gold going on. We're seeing a potential all-in the mid lane.
Mid lane will have to get that flash coming in from Unique as a huge fight has broken out. World Ender is dropped there by Ajax as you get to see Vider is here as well. He is going to get stunned up by that Sleepy Travel Bubble, and he is going to get bursted down. No, he is going to survive. Oh, great stomach right there. We'll go ahead and knock him up. Where's the Fun is going to pick that one up. Great knock in coming in onto Where's the Fun coming in from Nezumi, and Nezumi is desperately trying to put in damage along with Unique, but Unique, ooh, very good bait there. Will go ahead, get his ultimate onto himself as Arrow is unstoppable, picks up yet another kill. Ajax with the killing spree as well, and that's going to be a huge team fight win for the side of Reign of Kings.
The fight started off fantastic for Insecure as they were able to catch a fight before Arrow was there, but then Arrow showed up, the reinitiation came in from the side of Reign of Kings, and there just was absolutely nothing they could do. They have Drift Herald. This is going to be the inhibitor of the game, potentially could be a game-ending push if Insecure misplays this at all.
Absolutely. Gandhi Donut is going to flash forward, and it looks like he is going to pick up a huge kill on Ajax, but he may put himself into trouble. No, he's going to be okay. Daddy Zillion is here along with the sub, and I think with the help of Shelly, Reign of Kings will be satisfied with cracking the base. I don't believe the Rift Herald will pick up the inhibitor, and no, she goes down right there. Where's the Fun is looking potentially for more, but still 19 minutes into this one, 11-3 kills in favor of Reign of Kings as they continue to really dominate this game number 1.
However, with the changes to the bounty system, this can swing extremely quickly because if any of those big bounties, 1,000 gold on Dilution, 650 onto Lysandra, finds its way onto Gandhi Donut, this Sivir, who's currently only sitting at 1.5 items and is down a full completed item to the Lucian, all of a sudden rockets to that same item threshold that the Lucian is on, and that can entirely swing a mid-game team fight if something goes wrong in the next few minutes for ROK.
Yeah, and you think about the wave clear that Insecure has with the Zillion Bombs, with the Sivir. They are going to be able to have pretty decent wave clear to stall this one out as long as they can. Reign of Kings are really going to have to try and speed the game up as best they can as they go ahead and start up the Drake. And that's going to be their third Drake of this one so far. So again, they are over here, pressing all the correct buttons really early on in this series, as it looks like Gandhi Donut will go ahead and pick up a tower for Insecure, so more gold in their pocket. But Reign of Kings continue to just dominate, as it looks like they're even looking for picking up this inhibitor right now. And I don't know if the members of Insecure are going to be able to get back to
Arrow
defend.
isn't there though.
Arrow is
still
not
on his
here.
way.
He's working his way up there now, as the other members of Insecure are
comes
here.
Arrow.
Get Crab puts a lot of damage in onto Ajax. Is going to have to pop that World Ender. Fear Beyond Death is going to knock up and get killed for Get Crab there. Arrow has taken a huge chunk of damage as he's over here trying to put out some. As he goes down, he's going to have to get out of this fight. Viter goes down as Nezumi looks like he will be next on the chopping block. He'll comes in from Arrow to help save his bot lane companion, and I think that's going to be all. But that is, after everything, a 1-for-1 trade of kills there for both sides. But I don't know if it's going to be over. Unique is trying to run away from this one, but 4 members are here from Insecure for this one. The Chrono Shift will keep Gandhi Donut alive after he goes down. And still, Insecure is trying desperately to punch this tower down. Unique is going to go ahead and get knocked up. Sleepy Trouble Bubble does connect on to the Braum, but no, the sub. That is not what you wanted to do. Easy kill was set up there on the Nezumi, but he misses the combo there, and it will not be anything. But still, a very good push coming in for Insecure here.
The sub showing why he is not the starter on this team right there.
Oh, that definitely felt bad. I mean, it was right there on the chopping block. Nezumi was so low and was asleep right next to the tower, and all you had to do was blow on the Braum and he would have fallen over. But as you said, that is why this is the sub.
Yes, and that was one of the situations where attack champions only would come in so in handy, because the issue is not that, because I think he did not have Battlestar up. He went in for the portal jump auto, but he autoed the tower instead of Nezumi, and it looks like they're trying to rush Baron.
And I think this is going to be a interesting
mountain
setup here. They are going ahead, bursting down Baron. Oh, great coming in on start. Great ult coming in there for Where's the Fun, but Where's the Fun is gonna go ahead and get locked up, and he goes down. Flash coming in from Ajax as he will go ahead and drop the World Ender, trying to put in a ton of damage. Unique will go ahead and knock Where's the Fun down. Finally, Resurrection will come in. Baron was picked up there by Reign of Kings, and so that is going to be huge for them. They pick up the Baron, they get a kill, and they are going to continue to push onto the base.
Yeah, that is most likely going to be the middle inhibitor falling for the side of Insecure. They have a wave prepped in the bottom lane. It's the what can dissuade this push is how much poke the side of the sub is going to be able to land on this Zoe. That's going to be the crucial point as to see how much this push ends up taking from the side of ROK.
Well, right now, it's already taken the mid lane inhibitor. That has gone down. You start to see the backs coming in. I believe Arrow may go up top to push in the wave a little bit in the top side of the map. But still, that's going to be a huge win for the side of Reign of Kings as they continue to potentially take game number 1 here in this best of 5.
Yes, and just to reiterate, we still do have those large bounty golds on both Unique and Arrow here, and Sivir has completed her second item. That's where the gold has to go on to if you're the side of Insecure. So they do still have potential comeback mechanics. Right now, they need to play damage control, concede non-base towers, and just try to do whatever they can to prevent from losing a second inhibitor, because one wave of inhibitor of super minions is relatively easy for Sivir to clear, but if a second wave of super starts flooding in, it becomes extremely difficult for Insecure to be able to wave clear.
Yeah, and I remember we talked about it before. Although the insecure wave clear is decent, when you have to do it against multiple super minion waves, as you said, Primus, it becomes a near impossible task coming in right now. And although Arrow is 5-0, and although Unique is 3-0, you talked about it again, those bounties are about to reach, very close to reaching 2K. So if they can possibly insecure pick up some kills here onto those two carries, it is going to be a tough task, but if they can pick up some kills, they may start to get themselves back in the position as Unique is going ahead and pressuring this bottom lane tier 2. He looks like he is going to get the stun on the Where's the Fun as the third Mountain Drake goes over to the side of Raid of Kings. They are just toying with Where's the Fun right now, as that Scion is not very tanky, getting chunked out something crazy.
He has no magic resist.
No magic resist whatsoever, and that's not how you want to be against a Lissandra. Lissandra is over the wall, Unique, potentially looking for something, but he may get caught out here. Great damage on the Get Crab, but Get Crab is going to go ahead and miss on the explosive cast. The tower is going to go ahead and go down, as Unique will have to ult up himself, use that Zanya's, and he is going to be okay. But still, the pressure is here for Reign of Kings as they're looking to take down yet another tower to crack the base even more.
Yeah, it's right now, it's kind of, are you at your breaking point for the side of Insecure? Because you can't allow the second inhibitor fall, but you can't actually win a fight.
I don't think they can win a fight either, but Ajax is going to go ahead and start this up. Nezumi goes ahead and gets the knockup. World Ender has been used. Where's the Fun is taking a ton of damage. We'll get the knockup on to 2 right now. He is going to go ahead and get resurrected as the members of Reign of King are trying desperately to get out of this one. Exhaust is on the Arrow, but it's not going to matter. Arrow is dominating as he picks up one. Shutdown goes over as Unique goes down. Get Crab picks up Viter as well. It's going to be a double kill coming in for the Gragas as Nezumi is running for his life. That's a triple kill for the Gragas. It will get traded over as Arrow picks up another. He's got like, and that's going to be huge. Kills going over right there to Gandhi Donut. The Sivir makes a delivery, and that's going to be an ace. Exactly what Insecure needed.
That was both the big shutdowns that I talked about. Went on to Gandhi Donut. He's sitting on almost 2K plus gold right now. That's almost his full Infinity Edge. This is what Insecure needed. They kept their second inhibitor up. They got massive gold onto their Sivir. They have a chance to win this game.
Absolutely. What we talked about it before, Primus, with the fact that they have such
a full Infinity Edge, by the way.
Oh, that has to feel amazing for Gandhi Donut right there. He is at that 3-item spike that we talked about before. So this Sivir is going to be putting out immense damage. But one thing we have to pay close attention to, Baron is up in 1 minute. Reign of Kings have 3 Mountain Drakes. They will be able to burst this Baron down in absolute insane amount of time. So Insecure is going to be at a crossroad. They're going to try and push out this mid lane as best they can. But if they are late to this Baron, it will go over to the side of Reign of Kings.
Yeah, the biggest issue is that they have 2 TPs on the enemy side. They have Viter, who's going to be pushing in the top lane. They have Unique in the bottom lane. Both have their teleports available. It's what can happen in this mid-unit.
Predator coming in from Get Crab. Get Crab will go ahead and hit one onto Nezumi. Nezumi is going to go ahead and knock one up. Viter has teleported in, as has Unique. Unique is here. The Scion is on his way as well. Nezumi is looking for it, but the sub may be caught out in trouble. Oh, great use of the cleanse. It looked like somehow coming in from Arrows. Arrows going to go ahead and pick up the sub there, and that's not going to be what they want if you are Insecure. Where's the Fun is trying to run away. He is going to go ahead and get knocked up. Nezumi will get one on the Daddy Zillion. Daddy Zillion is going to have to resurrect himself as the Frozen Tomb comes down on the Where's the Fun. Where's the Fun is stunned up, and he will go down eventually as Arrow picks up Gandhi Donut. Picks up Daddy Zillion and the shutdown kill on the Where's the Fun, and that's going to be huge for the side of Reign of Kings as they look to continue the push and take game number 1.
However, Gandhi Donut is still up. That's a lot of labor that they have to try to chew through. Can-Man.
Here is what we're gonna see. Get Crab is here. He is gonna get knocked up and shut down right there. Arrow again on a rampage, 11-1-5, as he is desperately trying to end the game. Sub is up, but it's not gonna matter as Arrow goes golden and Reign of Kings take game number 1.
Yeah, that was just a dominant early game coming out from Arrow and Nezumi that pretty much completely set the tone for the entire game. Not to mention those early kills that they did get up onto the Scion early on, giving Unique that early advantage into what's a very difficult matchup for the Lysandra if she can't play on the front foot and look for engages onto the Zoe. So I have to give all the credit to the bottom lane of Arrow and Nezumi. And I know a lot of people want to give the MVP to Arrow, but Nezumi, with all those winter bites, with all those disengages, has to be your number one consideration for MVP. And that's why I give him MVP for.
And that is going to be interesting as we get through the rest of this series. How is Nezumi and Arrow going to duplicate the success that they had here in game number 1? I know Gandhi Donut, we talked about it before on that Sivir. If he could get those shutdown golds in his pocket, they might be an area that Insecure can use to get back into this game. And they got the shutdown golds, but I think it was just a little bit too late, Primus.
Yeah, it was just a little bit too late. They kind of overstretched on a mid lane play. The sub ended up getting caught out and being sent to the grave as he did kind of struggle on that Zoe in the mid lane. Didn't really have that much of impact. Did land a couple nice trouble bubbles and get some good poke down, but I felt that he kind of was underwhelming in that performance. Gandhi don't. I felt like he was trying to play 1v9, but nobody else showed up to play League of Legends.
Well, we're going to have to see how Insecure shows up and bounces back in game number 2. Sit tight, guys, here. We are going to send it to a quick break. Then we will be right back with game number 2 of the Overdrive League Platinum Division Finals between Reign of Kings and Insecure.